Maya woke up feeling a mixture of excitement and nervousness. Today was her birthday, and unlike other years, she had agreed to go on a blind date. Her friends had insisted she should try it. Maybe this one will be different, she thought, smiling at the thought of meeting someone new. She brushed her hair carefully and put on a simple, elegant black dress that made her feel confident. As she looked at herself in the mirror, she felt butterflies in her stomach. "It's just dinner. Just dinner," she whispered to calm herself. But deep down, she hoped this dinner could be more than just a meal. Maybe tonight could be the start of something special. Her friends, knowing her excitement, called her early in the morning. "Don't be too picky." One teased. Another laughed. "Just remember, if he's rude, throw him out." Maya laughed, trying to hide her nervousness. She knew she was putting a lot of hope into this night, and part of her worried about being disappointed. By the evening, the city lights flickered as she walked toward the restaurant. The cool air brushed against her face, making her heart beat a little faster. She arrived early and took a seat by the window. The restaurant was warm and cozy, filled with soft music and the aroma of food. Couples laughed at nearby tables, and the atmosphere felt alive. Maya smiled, taking a deep breath, trying to calm the nervous energy inside her. Minutes passed slowly. She checked her phone, hoping for a message from her date. Nothing came. She started to wonder if he would even show up. Her mind raced with possibilities. Maybe he got stuck in traffic, or maybe he forgot. She tried not to panic, reminding herself to stay calm and enjoy her birthday regardless of how the date would turn out. Finally, the door opened. A tall man walked in, glancing around. He spotted Maya and approached. At first, she felt relief he had come. But as he drew closer, she noticed something unsettling. His smile seemed forced, and his eyes flicked over her as if he was checking off a list. Maya greeted him politely, but he barely responded, and the words he spoke were short, almost cold. The initial excitement in Maya's heart began to fade. She tried to make conversation, sharing a little about her day, but he barely listened. Instead, he checked his phone, glancing around impatiently. Maya forced a smile, feeling a mix of embarrassment and confusion. She had imagined this dinner being full of laughter and warmth, not awkward silence and discomfort. As they ordered their food, Maya's friends' teasing words echoed in her mind. "Throw him out if he's rude," she remembered, trying to stay composed. She reminded herself not to overthink, to give him a chance. But the more she tried to engage, the colder he seemed. By the time the appetizers arrived, Maya felt a knot in her stomach. She realized that tonight was not turning out as she had hoped. The excitement of the morning had disappeared, replaced with a quiet disappointment. She glanced around the restaurant, noticing happy families and friends sharing stories. She wondered why things felt so different for her tonight. Then, she took a deep breath, straightened her posture, and decided she wouldn't let the night be ruined. She could still make it special for herself. But little did she know, the real surprise of the evening was not the date. Something entirely unexpected was about to happen that would change the course of her birthday and maybe her life forever. Maya tried to shake off the uneasy feeling from the start of the date. She had smiled, asked questions, and made small talk, hoping to spark some connection. But every answer from him felt distant, like he was somewhere else entirely. Even his polite nods seemed forced. The air between them felt cold, despite the warm glow of the restaurant lights. "Do you come here often?" Maya asked, trying to keep the conversation light. He glanced at her for a moment, then looked away. "Not really. I just came because, well, it was my turn to try this blind date thing." His tone was flat, almost disinterested. Maya felt a flicker of hurt, but forced herself to laugh softly. "I see. Well, it's my birthday tonight, so I wanted to try something new." She hoped mentioning her birthday would at least spark some warmth. But he barely acknowledged it, replying with a quick, "Oh, happy birthday, I guess." The words stung. The "I guess" echoed in her mind like a tiny dagger. She had imagined laughter, maybe even a candle in a dessert, maybe a kind gesture. But here she was, sitting across a man who seemed not even a little interested in her, let alone in celebrating her day. The appetizers arrived. And Maya tried again, sharing a funny story from her workday. She described how her cat had somehow managed to lock itself in the bathroom, and how she had to call her neighbor for help. She laughed, hoping he would join her in the joke, but he just glanced at his plate, ignoring her words. Maya's smile faltered. She felt a heavy sense of disappointment washing over her. The hope she had carried all day, the little spark that made her wake up excited, was fading fast. She began to notice the other diners around her, couples who were laughing, friends sharing memories, and families enjoying their meals. And yet here she was, invisible to the person sitting right in front of her. Finally, she tried to ask him about himself, hoping to shift the conversation. "So, what do you like to do for fun?" He leaned back, shrugging. "I don't know. I guess normal stuff. Nothing special." Maya's heart sank. The casual dismissal hurt more than she expected. She had come here with an open heart, excited for a connection, and now she felt rejected. Not just rejected, but invisible. For a moment, she considered saying something sharp, telling him exactly how rude he was being. But she didn't want to ruin the restaurant vibe or make a scene. Instead, she stayed silent, taking a sip of water, trying to collect herself. Her hands trembled slightly, betraying the calm she was trying to maintain. Then, without warning, he stood up. "I think I'm done here," he said, glancing at his watch. "Thanks for the dinner, I guess. Happy birthday again." Maya's jaw dropped. He was leaving. Right now. On her birthday. Her mouth opened, but no words came out. She felt a flush of embarrassment and hurt as he walked away, leaving her alone at the table. For a moment, the restaurant seemed unbearably quiet. Maya sat frozen, staring at her empty plate, feeling as though the entire evening had collapsed. All the excitement, all the hope, had vanished. She had imagined a special night, maybe laughter, maybe sparks. Instead, she was left with disappointment. Her eyes scanned the room, and she tried to convince herself that it wasn't the end. Maybe the night wasn't over. Maybe there was still a chance for something good to happen. Little did she know, the real surprise of her birthday was waiting just a few tables away, about to turn her evening upside down in the most unexpected way. Maya sat alone at the table, staring at her empty plate. The warmth of the restaurant felt distant now, as if the laughter and chatter around her existed in another world. She tried to steady her breathing, telling herself, "It's okay. It's just one bad date. Don't ruin your birthday over this." But the disappointment weighed heavily on her chest. She looked out the window. The city lights twinkled in the night, reflecting on the wet pavement from a light drizzle. She had imagined walking home later with someone special, maybe holding hands, sharing jokes, celebrating her day. Instead, she would leave alone. Her friends' teasing words echoed in her mind, but they felt cruel tonight. Trying to distract herself, Maya observed the people around her. Families laughed together, couples whispered secrets, and friends clinked glasses in celebration. She noticed a little boy tugging at his mother's sleeve, a young couple sharing a dessert, a waiter joking with regulars. The world seemed alive with connection, and she felt painfully aware of her solitude. She picked up her phone and scrolled through messages from friends wishing her happy birthday. Their words were kind, but the warmth she hoped for in real life wasn't there. She put her phone down, sighing. "Maybe I was foolish to expect something tonight," she thought. Then out of the corner of her eye, she noticed someone staring at her. A little girl, no more than 6 or 7, stood a few feet away, clutching a small stuffed rabbit. Her dark eyes were wide, curious, almost searching. Maya watched as the girl hesitated, looking around as if making sure no one was watching. then slowly took a few steps closer. Maya felt a strange tug in her heart. There was something about this child that felt familiar, comforting, innocent. The girl stopped beside her table, tilting her head slightly. "Hi," she said softly. Maya blinked, surprised. "Hi," she replied cautiously. "Are you looking for someone?" The girl shook her head. "No, Can I sit here?" Her voice was small but steady, filled with hope. Maya hesitated, then smiled gently. "Of course you can." The girl climbed onto the chair carefully, hugging her rabbit tightly. Maya couldn't help but notice the slight sadness in the child's eyes, as if she carried a burden no one else could see. For a few moments, neither spoke. The girl fiddled with her rabbit, and Maya sipped her water, trying to figure out why this small stranger felt so important. Then, in the softest voice, the girl asked something that made Maya's heart skip a beat. "Can you be my new mom?" Maya froze. Her fork hovered above her plate, the words echoing in her mind. Did she really just ask that? She looked at the little girl, whose hopeful eyes seemed to plead for an answer. Maya felt a mix of shock, confusion, and an unexpected warmth spreading through her chest. She swallowed hard, trying to find words. The question was so sudden, so unexpected, and yet it felt like a lifeline thrown to her. The loneliness and disappointment from the date seemed to fade, replaced by a different kind of fear, one that was intertwined with possibility, responsibility, and hope. Maya didn't answer immediately. She simply looked at the girl, letting the silence fill the space between them. The child's eyes never wavered, and slowly, a small nervous smile appeared on her face. Maya realized something powerful. Tonight, her birthday might still become extraordinary, just in a way she had never imagined. The rain outside tapped gently on the window, the soft music played in the background, and Maya felt the first stirrings of something new, a connection that could change her life forever. Maya stared at the little girl, her heart pounding in a way she had never felt before. The question hung in the air, fragile and full of hope. "Can you be my new mom?" For a moment, Maya didn't know what to say. She had never imagined her birthday taking such a turn, not with a blind date, not with strangers, but here she was, facing a child whose gaze seemed to pierce through all her defenses. The little girl, Lily, fidgeted with her stuffed rabbit nervously. "Please," she whispered, her voice small but earnest. "I don't have a mom. And I like you. You're nice. Can you be my new mom?" Maya felt her chest tighten. She didn't know this child, yet she felt an instant connection, a pull she couldn't explain. She studied Lily's face, the wide, innocent eyes, the small smile hiding a hint of sadness, the little freckle near her left eyebrow. Something inside her shifted. "Lily, you said?" Maya asked gently, using the name the girl had spoken. The girl nodded eagerly. "Yes, I live with my aunt, but I don't feel at home there. You're kind. You're different. Can I stay with you?" Maya swallowed hard. She wanted to respond immediately, to say yes, to embrace this small being who seemed to need her so much. But part of her hesitated. Am I ready for this? Am I ready to take care of someone else? She had spent years living for herself, building her career, dreaming her dreams. Could she suddenly take on the responsibility of a child's life? Lily tilted her head, sensing the hesitation. "I won't be a lot of trouble," she said softly. "I just want a mom. Someone who loves me. I'll be good. I promise." Maya felt tears prick at the corners of her eyes. She had come to this restaurant expecting disappointment and had received this, a tiny, fragile human being who trusted her without question. For the first time that night, she felt the warmth of purpose, the strange but comforting feeling of being needed. She leaned forward slightly. "Lily, this is very sudden. I don't even know you very well." Lily smiled shyly, hugging her rabbit tighter. "I know, but maybe we can know each other?" The honesty in the child's eyes struck Maya deeply. She remembered the loneliness she had felt after her date walked away, the emptiness that had settled around her table. And now, here was a chance to fill that emptiness, not with a stranger, but with someone who truly needed her. Maya exhaled slowly. She could feel the weight of the decision pressing on her, but also a strange excitement. Life had a way of surprising you when you least expected it. She reached out, touching Lily's small hand. "You know, maybe we can start by spending some time together," she said softly, a tentative smile forming on her lips. Lily's face lit up instantly, her eyes shining like tiny stars. "Really?" she whispered. "Really," Maya replied, her heart swelling with an unexpected joy. At that moment, the noise of the restaurant faded into the background. Maya realized that her birthday, which had begun with disappointment and humiliation, was transforming into something magical. Something neither she nor Lily could have predicted. The evening that had started with a failed blind date was now giving her the chance to discover a connection that might change both their lives forever. Maya looked around, suddenly noticing the warmth of the restaurant differently. The soft lights seemed brighter, the laughter of family sounded sweeter, and her own heart felt lighter. She smiled at Lily, and for the first time in hours, she felt truly seen, not just by a stranger, but by a little girl who might just become the most important part of her life. Maya watched Lily closely as the little girl's eyes sparkled with hope and excitement. There was something in Lily's innocent trust that touched a part of Maya she had almost forgotten existed, a part that longed to nurture, to protect, to love. "Tell me about yourself." "Lily," Maya said softly, leaning forward. "What's your favorite thing to do?" Lily's face lit up. "I like to draw and play outside. And sometimes I help my aunt in the kitchen, but she's always busy. I wish I had someone who could stay with me, not just leave me with chores." Maya felt a lump in her throat. She realized that this child wasn't just asking for companionship, she was asking for care, for love, for someone who would make her feel safe. The weight of that tiny request pressed on Maya's heart, yet instead of fear, it sparked a warmth she had never expected tonight. "You know," Maya began carefully, "sometimes adults are scared to take care of kids because it's a big responsibility. But I think we could start by spending time together. You can show me what you love, and maybe I can teach you some things too." Lily's face brightened with an eagerness that made Maya's chest ache. "Really? You'd really do that?" "Yes," Maya replied, smiling. "I think we can learn from each other." As they spoke, Maya noticed how Lily's small hand held onto the stuffed rabbit a little less tightly. She sensed a trust growing, a fragile, delicate thread connecting their hearts. Lily began telling stories about her school, her favorite cartoons, and even her dreams of one day painting a big mural on a wall. Maya listened, laughed, and occasionally asked questions, encouraging the little girl's creativity and imagination. For the first time that evening, Maya felt a sense of purpose beyond herself. The loneliness and disappointment of the earlier date melted into the background, replaced by this profound, unspoken connection. She realized that sometimes life gave you unexpected gifts in ways you could never plan. "You know, Lily," Maya said gently, "I think you're very brave. I can see it in your eyes. Even when life has been hard, you're still hopeful. That's something very special." Lily's eyes shimmered with a mix of pride and emotion. "Do you really think so?" she asked quietly. "I do," Maya replied, her voice soft. "And I think we can make this birthday special together. Not because of a date, but because of us." Lily's face broke into a wide, radiant smile. She leaned across the table, resting her small hand over Maya's. "I think I like you already," she whispered. Maya's chest tightened with emotion. "I like you too, Lily," she said, fighting back tears. I think this might be the start of something really special for both of us." The rest of the evening passed in a blur of stories, laughter, and shared dreams. Maya realized that her birthday, which had begun with disappointment and embarrassment, had transformed into an unexpected celebration of connection. The bond forming between her and Lily felt natural, effortless, and yet profound, as if life had quietly guided them to this moment. As Maya prepared to leave the restaurant, she held Lily's small hand tightly. She knew that tonight was just the beginning of their journey together. A journey filled with hope, laughter, and the promise of love. Walking out into the cool night, Maya glanced at the city lights and smiled. She realized that sometimes the most meaningful connections came when you least expected them, and that one small question from a little girl had the power to change everything. The evening air was crisp as Maya and Lily stepped out of the restaurant. The city lights reflected softly on the wet streets, giving the night a magical glow. For the first time that evening, Maya felt a sense of excitement and purpose that had nothing to do with a romantic date. Instead, it was something deeper, an unexpected connection that felt real and meaningful. "Do you want to get ice cream?" Maya asked, smiling at Lily. Lily's eyes lit up. "Yes. Can we go to the place with the chocolate fudge and sprinkles?" she asked eagerly. Maya laughed softly. "Of course, let's make your birthday our little adventure tonight." As they walked together, hand in hand, Maya felt the nervous tension of the earlier date completely melt away. She watched Lily's small steps, her excitement, the way she paused to point out a puddle she wanted to jump in. A simple evening walk suddenly felt like a new chapter, one that promised joy, laughter, and shared memories. At the ice cream shop, Lily bounced on her heels while choosing her favorite flavors. Maya watched with a quiet warmth, realizing how much happiness a small person could bring into her life. She ordered a cone for herself, enjoying the simple sweetness of chocolate and strawberry swirls. "You know," Maya said softly, handing Lily her ice cream, "sometimes life surprises us in the most unexpected ways. I came here thinking tonight would be just another date, but instead I found you." Lily's eyes widened. "Me? Really?" she asked, taking a careful lick of her ice cream. "Yes," Maya replied, squeezing her small hand gently. "You've made my birthday special in a way I could never have imagined." As they walked toward a nearby park, Lily skipped ahead, giggling, and Maya felt a surge of joy watching her. The park was quiet, with only a few evening strollers passing by. Lily ran to the swings, and Maya pushed her gently, laughing as the child soared higher and higher. "You're really strong," Lily said, holding onto the chains tightly. "I like being with you." Maya smiled, feeling her heart swell. "I like being with you too, Lily. You're brave, smart, and full of energy. I think we're going to have a lot of fun together." Sitting on a nearby bench, Maya took a moment to reflect. She had spent the evening feeling rejected and disappointed, her birthday seeming ruined. But now, she realized that the universe had given her a gift far more precious than a romantic connection, someone who needed her, someone she could care for, someone who could fill her life with love in ways she hadn't even imagined. As the night deepened, they walked back toward Maya's apartment. Lily chattered happily about school, cartoons, and her dreams, and Maya listened intently, asking questions, laughing, and encouraging her. Every word, every smile, every little gesture strengthened the bond forming between them. When they finally reached Maya's door, Lily turned to her with a hopeful expression. "Do you think we can do this again tomorrow?" Maya knelt down, looking into her eyes. "Absolutely," she said with certainty. "This is just the beginning, Lily. We'll figure it out together." Lily hugged her tightly, and Maya felt a warmth spreading through her chest, the kind that made her feel alive, complete, and happy. She realized that life's surprises sometimes came in the form of tiny, unexpected hands reaching for yours. And tonight, on what had started as a disappointing birthday, Maya had found not just joy, but a purpose that made her heart full. The city hummed softly around them, lights reflecting their small figures, and Maya smiled, knowing that this was the start of a beautiful journey, a journey of love, hope, and new beginnings. The next morning, Maya woke up with a new sense of purpose. The events of the previous night replayed in her mind, the failed blind date, the rejection, and then Lily's unexpected question. She smiled, feeling the warmth of hope blooming in her heart. Something had shifted overnight. Her birthday, which had begun with disappointment, was now the start of something extraordinary. Lily arrived a little later, carrying her stuffed rabbit, her eyes sparkling with excitement. "Good morning, Maya," she exclaimed. "Can we do fun stuff today too?" Maya laughed, feeling lighter than she had in months. "Good morning, Lily. Of course we can. Let's make today another special day." They spent the morning drawing, coloring, and even baking simple cookies together. Lily giggled as flour dusted her small hands, and Maya found herself laughing freely. The stress and sadness from the previous night completely washed away. Every smile, every laugh, every shared moment strengthened the bond forming between them. As the day went on, Maya realized how much she enjoyed being responsible for someone else's happiness. She saw Lily's world through fresh eyes, the wonder in small things, the excitement in simple discoveries, the joy of feeling loved. Maya's own loneliness melted away as she embraced the connection that had appeared unexpectedly, like a gift she had never expected to receive. Around noon, Maya called her friends to tell them about the remarkable turn of events. "You won't believe it," she said, laughing. "Last night was a disaster with the blind date, but then Lily. She asked me to be her mom, and I think I said yes." Her friends were stunned. "What? On your birthday? That's amazing. You found something real." "Yes," Maya said softly, her heart full. "Much more real than any date could have been." By evening, Maya and Lily went to the park again, swinging on swings, playing tag, and sharing ice cream. The simple joy in Lily's laughter, the trust in her small hand as she held onto Maya's, made Maya feel alive in a way she hadn't felt in years. The earlier sadness, the humiliation of the failed blind date, seemed like a distant memory. She realized that sometimes life's most meaningful gifts come from the most unexpected places. As night fell, they returned to Maya's apartment. Lily hugged her tightly before bed. "Thank you for today, Maya. I'm so happy," she whispered. Maya held her close. "I'm happy too, Lily. You made my birthday unforgettable, and I think we're going to be great together." Later, Maya blew out her birthday candles, a soft smile on her lips. The glow of the candlelight reflected in her eyes, not just as celebration of another year, but as a symbol of a new beginning. She realized that life had a strange, wonderful way of surprising you. Sometimes what you think is a disaster is actually the doorway to something far more beautiful. Maya felt a warmth spread through her heart, stronger than any romantic excitement she had ever known. It was the warmth of connection, trust, and love, a love that didn't come with expectations or disappointment, but with hope, laughter, and a promise of shared moments. Looking at Lily, fast asleep with her rabbit tucked under her arm, Maya whispered softly, "Happy birthday to me, and to us." Outside, the city lights twinkled like stars, as if celebrating the start of a new journey. Maya knew that life's surprises were unpredictable, and sometimes the best moments came when you least expected them. She had started the night with fear and ended it with hope. She had begun alone and ended surrounded by a bond that would change her life forever. The failed blind date was a forgotten shadow. Lily's small hand had reached into Maya's heart, bringing warmth, laughter, and love that no disappointment could ever erase. And as Maya watched her sleep, she knew that this birthday, once meant to mark another lonely year, had become the beginning of a beautiful, shared life full of hope, happiness, and endless possibilities.